Hey guys, so this is Nayla's 7th video session. If you guys have been following along with her journey, we put out a few other videos on this horse's progress. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how I go about putting a first ride on a young horse. This horse is very feely and nervous in new situations, as I've talked about in the last videos. So I'm going to show you guys how to be extra careful and extra thorough going into this. So in my last video, I did not lope her with the saddle on. We talked about how she was extra feely and we just wanted her to be able to relax at a walk and a trot before moving her up to a higher speed. And there are some horses who can handle that kind of pressure, and I'll move them up to a lope right away. You can still see she's pretty goosey here. So I'm just going to move her around and we're going to warm her up like this until she starts to relax and that head drops down a little bit and she gets a little softer in the rib cage. Again, every day I come back and I review all the things that I taught her in the past and kind of give her that warm up so she's set up for success. All right, we'll go ahead and go the other direction. Good job. Send her off gently, push that shoulder out. There we go. Push that hip out a little bit more. There we go. You can see her head's still a little bit high. She's still a little bit tense and nervous, and she's moving a little faster than I'd like ideally. So again, we're just going to wait her out here. I'm not going to try and make anything happen. I'm just going to wait till she settles down and relaxes into this. There we go. Her feet are slowing down. There we go. Gently bump on that nose. Ask her to soften up. Push the hip out. That's pretty. So if you guys haven't seen how I teach this exercise, on one of my last videos I covered it with this horse, and I show you guys how to get that rib cage softened and get a little more hip control and get the horse guiding around pretty nicely so that you have this foundation of softness when you get in the saddle. She's pretty, getting a little pushy there. I'm again going to exaggerate this just a little bit more, bring that rope up and push that hip out. There we go, until she wants to soften a little bit more. And then it's okay, she stops, that's fine. Good girl. All right, send her out again. And the reason the softness is so important, as I've talked about before, is that this transfers over to what we have under saddle. If we don't have this control on the ground here, it's going to be much harder to get it under saddle, and you're going to have a much higher chance of having an unsuccessful first ride. There we go. That's good right there. Get those few steps. I'm going to ask her to disengage here. Wait that out a little bit. See how now she's allowing me to tap on that hip a little bit. She's got a lot more accepting of certain pressures. There you go. Nice big sigh. Go to the other side. Make sure we're always thorough on both sides. Horses have two sides of their brains, and you got to cover both of them. Make sure the horse is comfortable and relaxed on both sides. Good job. Atta girl. You can see how I can kind of slap on her here a lot more now, and she's way less feely about it. This has taken hours and hours of just spending time with her here, rubbing on her, desensitizing, showing her that I'm not going to hurt her. Good job. She can pick up all 4 feet at liberty now, which is a huge accomplishment for her. There we go. Good girl. All right, let's go ahead and send her back off. I'm going to ask her to lope this time. This is something that we didn't cover in the last video, and it's one of the things you need to be able to check off the list before you get on the horse. Be sure that they can always walk, trot, and lope with the saddle on comfortably and relaxed before you attempt to step in that saddle. There we go. Let her out on that rope a little more. Gently ask her to lope off. I don't rush this step. I don't care how long it takes them to get into that lope. She rolled right into it. Very relaxed, very quiet. I'm going to walk with her here. Again, she's speeding up there because she doesn't want to be trapped between the camera and me. Gently ask her to pick it back up again. I don't want this horse to have moved its feet enough that it's ready to think when I get on it. I don't want a really fresh colt that has all kinds of energy and is ready to burn that energy once I step in the saddle. There we go. A little more pressure. And I like how she's not squirting off when I do that, honestly. I'm fine with her taking her time. Bring her down here. Atta girl. Good job. Go ahead and go the other way. Gently send her off again. Push that shoulder out. Don't let her cut across. There we go. She's nice and soft there. She's a little higher headed than I would like, but you see she's not dragging me around. Her inside ear is focused on me. She's really paying attention to what I'm asking of her. I'm going to gently let that rope out, ask her to lope off. She is a lot more nervous to the left than to the right, so we've had to be extra thorough on this side. There we go, rolled really nicely into that. Ask her to hold it up there. This horse is very feely and sensitive, but she's actually not that hot. She doesn't have a ton of excess energy, which is nice. It's a bad combination if you have a horse with a lot of energy who is sensitive and worried. There we go. There you go. Good girl. That's all I'll ask of her. Good girl. So you can see how relaxed she is at a lope now. Walk, trot, and lope. She's very comfortable with it. You don't see any of that tenseness and the back getting tight and the head going up and her looking out of her eyes on both sides trying to figure out what's following her. She's licking and chewing here. She's much more relaxed and comfortable with the saddle in general, and that's what we want to see before we get on. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what I do with the flag and the tarp, and we'll cover that, and then we'll go ahead and step on. Good job. So some people may do this and others may not. Kind of comes down to personal preference, but after having worked with so many Mustangs, I've learned to be extra cautious, extra careful when getting ready for this first ride, because I've learned that undoing damage is much more difficult than not creating damage in the first place. There we go. I always tell people the most fragile part of a horse is his mind. There's a lot of things you can discipline a horse pretty strongly, and if you do it with the right timing and the right attitude, you're going to create a lot less damage than if you apply a little bit of the wrong pressure at the wrong time. Good job. All right, go ahead and disengage here. We'll go the other way. Good job. Step off there. Gently ask her to walk off. She's getting a little close to me here. I'm going to take the end of my flag here and just push her out the handle part. There we go. There we go. There. I liked how she slowed down when she got worried. Again, reach that flag to the offside. Be sure I can wave that around over there. She's walking nicely. Just always watch yourself, because if that horse decides to jump away from that flag and you're not watching yourself, you'll be in a vulnerable position to get wiped out. There we go. There we go. Atta girl. All right, whoa, whoa. Good job. Good. Atta girl. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to our tarp here. You can see she's still a little feely about it. Obviously, we're not gonna have, some of these horses won't be 100% thorough before you can get on them. Some of these horses will take several months before they completely relax with the tarp, and some never do. But we do want them to be able to handle it, to tolerate it, to know how to deal with their fear about it before we go ahead and get on. Good girl. In the perfect world, yeah, we'd get them over everything before we got on. But we have clients to deliver for, a lot of expectations to be met. So we've got to set them up, get them ready, teach them how to handle their fear, and then go ahead and get the first ride on and start riding them.